Hello and welcome to Northside Now. This is the podcast where your lovable hosts take you on a tour through all of the ministries and the latest happenings around Northside Church to keep you better connected with your church family. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick, and with me as always are my two fabulous co-hosts, Glenn Miller and Kevin Bryant. What's up, guys?
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, do y'all know who the fastest person in the Bible was?
No. Who was the fastest person in the Bible?
Adam. He was the first in the human race.
Got it.
You know, Rev Kev's been talking a lot about Joshua.
Yes.
Did you know a lot of people assume that he was an orphan?
Who, Rev Kev?
No, Joshua. Did I say that?
No. Joshua was an orphan?
Well, in the Bible, it says he was the son of none.
Oh, yeah. I guess I have heard that.
Oh.
Son of none.
My blind friend recently lost her copy of the Bible, and she's had to go on a journey to find it. You could say she's on a quest for the Holy Grail.
We're sorry. We're sorry.
Was this a good idea?
Who gave him that joke?
We opened the door.
I'm trying to find some original ones that, you know, I haven't heard 100 times.
You should share your original, you're the ones you've written.
Oh, I don't know if y'all are ready for those.
We can't handle it. Oh, wow. So what's going on this week for you guys?
Oh, just normal old stuff.
The weather is,
wild.
it feels like the weather's getting ready to change here soon. Maybe it'll stay cooler, but you never know.
I have noticed there does seem to be a little change in the leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And
The leafage.
A little falling from the tree.
And I'll tell you, that's definitely one of the things I enjoy about West Tennessee is that you get mostly all the seasons. Now,
Yeah.
winter is not super harsh, but you often, I mean, more recently, it seems like we've at least gotten the snow sometime.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah. But I've lived in other places that tend to be mostly snow all the time, or visited, of course, places that don't ever get snow and, you know, have hot and kind of rainy or dry.
Yeah.
But I just didn't appreciate that about being around here.
Yeah, it's nice to have all the seasons and to enjoy them. And we have one of the most beautiful spots here. Not long ago on our Instagram, I posted a question. What is your favorite place about the campus and stuff? And I put a picture of that lane. It's on the golf course side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just such a beautiful little drive whenever those leaves get in full
It's
go.
fun driving through the parking lot when the leaves are on the ground and they just kind of
go fast.
Yeah.
after you.
That is pretty fun. Well, cool. Well, I want to give a shout out today, a good old shout out to our fan.
Our biggest fan.
We have a biggest fan. So, Cora Joy, this one's for you.
Hi, Cora.
We're waving. Hi. We're waving. We hope you're having a good day. I guess you're probably getting ready to go to school, and because I hear that you listen first thing in the morning.
Right.
What you want to listen to in the car. So I hope you've got your chocolate milk and your donut, and you're having a great day. And if not, Patrick will make sure that you get a chocolate milk and a donut.
For sure.
So,
And I might have one too.
That's a good reminder to anybody who's listening to this, and I listen at all times during the day. It is important for us. I was just having this conversation with somebody in our family. It is important to be intentional about being positive.
yeah.
And so just hearing a reminder, hey, you know what? Whatever's going to go on today, whatever's already happened, it can be a good day.
You can.
You've got the greatest friend in the world walking alongside you, maybe carrying you. Jesus can do that, does do that. And if you can remember that, it might just make today a little bit brighter.
Yeah. So we're glad that you're listening. And, you know, we will, maybe we can all get together and have like a picture with her. Or,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we put it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
or maybe she can come in and do a podcast with us someday.
Oh, there we go.
How cool would that be? And we may have to get some smaller headphones for her, though. These would probably cover her head completely.
I do have a question now along the lines of your favorite spot. What about your favorite spot on campus that maybe people don't know about? If they've been just recently started attending Northside Church, is there a place that you think's pretty cool? Now, the campus isn't super huge, right?
No, yeah,
so
yeah.
It might be a bit of a challenge. I've got one, but I wanted to hear what you guys think, because you've been around here for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I really like the Vesper area we have in the back.
Yeah.
With the cross and the benches and the fire pit and stuff. And I really do like that. However, I don't know. There's something about being in the youth room upstairs in the gym that I really like a lot.
So I wonder how many people, especially if they attend and go to the sanctuary, maybe even Hope Hall, don't have kids. Have you ever seen the youth room?
Yeah, there's people who don't know we have a youth room upstairs in the gym. The gym is 2 stories. Yeah. that does crack me up.
Right.
I'm just so used to it, you know.
Right.
But yeah.
Patrick, do you have?
I don't know. I spend 90% of my time in my office now, so that's kind of become my my spot. But
I understand that.
I don't know. I kind of like the secret chocolate factory that we have in the basement. Not a lot of people know about that.
Does it have a glass elevator?
It does. It shoots right through the ceiling.
Only when it's not going slant ways.
Right.
And front ways and every other ways.
So I have 2 questions. Actually 2 comments. The first one is my spot, and then the second one is a spot that I don't know what it looks like since I've been back. So the first spot is what used to be a prayer room, is now a storage area, I think.
Yeah, I think there's a big Batman symbol in there now.
Is there really?
I think there's some scout material in there and stuff.
Yeah.
It's upstairs in the youth room. Well, in the youth.
Yeah.
Well, the second floor of the gym, if you didn't know that existed, was at one time built as a prayer room.
Yep.
And it's got, I'm not sure if it had kneelers in there,
It
it did have
Yeah.
like a mural and stuff in there. And that was a really cool spot.
Yeah.
It still's a cool spot, but it's used.
No.
The mural is out in the junior high room now.
Got it.
And actually needs to be hung on the wall.
Got it.
It's sitting there ready to go up. It just needs a nail for someone.
There's also that prayer room behind the chapel.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's the one I
don't
thought
know.
you were talking about.
A lot of people don't know that's there either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that still utilized in terms of?
I think so. I'm not sure if they still do. Oh, I guarantee you we still don't do the prayer line.
Right.
We used to do it because that was a Methodist thing. But but I think it still is utilized. Yeah. And it's 2 sides to that. One side was still set up that way. I think the other was Daphne's office when she first started.
Yep.
And I didn't know in there, if you open the closet, there's neon in there. We used to have neon on that where it faced the street.
Yeah. If you look, when you're looking at the front of the building, well, I call it the front of the building with the side with the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
With the
Facing
fantastic sign that we have out by the street.
The bag sign.
To the left is, it's like an A-frame like building. It's the chapel, and the front of it did have stained glass that, when lit from behind with the neon or fluorescent, I guess at that point, you could see multicolored lights. And I don't know if that's utilized anymore, but that does still exist.
Yeah, I don't know if it still works or not, but
Pretty cool part of the history of Northside.
it really is. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty neat back there. A lot of people don't know it's there.
It's like the Northside catacombs. Speaking of catacombs, kind
That's
of
cool.
spooky stuff. Halloween's going to be right around the corner. You believe
It
or
is,
not.
and guess what's happening on Halloween?
Lots of candy.
Northside. Yeah, with trunk or treat. Trunk or treat at Halloween.
yeah.
So from 4 to 6 that day. I mean, we're not quite to the calendar, but everybody's looking forward to that day, and that's what we're going to do it on. I don't think we've ever done it on Halloween.
Not on Halloween Day, I don't think.
I know, it's been so. We want 100 billion trunks. Let's
Yeah.
get everybody to bring a trunk. That would
Like
be fun.
the front and the back and the side
Ooh, that'd
parking
be
lots
really cool.
all full.
I want every single parking space taken up.
Now, that would be amazing. But if we could at least get all the back, that would be pretty cool.
Can you imagine how much candy that would be?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Just get one piece from each car and you'd be set.
You
The
would.
youth. I was talking with some of the youth girls the other day. We were actually we were recording Donkey Talk, which for its first recording back for the fall, and some of them said they were going to dress up like a cow, and so we got the idea of like, what if all the youth dressed in animal costumes, and we're back there like a petting zoo, and little kids could come just pet them on the head, ride them, stuff like that. That'd be pretty funny.
That would be
We
awesome.
put them like a fence around it.
Hey, we'd have the start of a living nativity.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. Something COVID just took away from us, but that would be funny. I was laughing at them. That made me laugh. So a petting zoo. So
Yep.
I don't know. We get enough shout outs. We might have a petting zoo at the trunk or treat. But
That would be fun.
But yeah, what else is coming up besides that?
Well, let's see what else is going on, Patrick.
I was going to say, in the spirit of
In the spirit of that, yeah.
Halloween thing, I'm planning a new series.
Yeah.
We'll do a little segment during the month of October. I'm going to be introducing Northside activity. So we'll be talking all things paranormal. Oh, yeah. Which button is that?
Yeah, so for anybody out there kind of rolling their eyes and like, what in the world is he talking about? I think this is going to be really interesting because you and I have had conversations, we all three of us have, about spiritual things, Christianity and its relationship to spirit, the supernatural, and we definitely want to get Rev Kev's weigh in on this here.
His expert opinion.
Absolutely. But, there's the part of the Christian life that is spiritual, that is outside of maybe quote unquote normal temporal kind of living. And how do you deal with that as a Christian? You may say, well, I don't believe in ghosts. That's just nonsense. But the Holy Spirit, what is that?
John Wesley called it the Holy Ghost.
It used to be the Holy Ghost.
That's right. So I think it could be a really fascinating conversation, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna save all that.
that's something to look forward to.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Rev Kev, we're not just holding him down and keeping him quiet. He's really not with us today. So
He's got duct tape in the corner.
yeah. But no. So he'll be back with us again soon. Well, we do have some other guests coming on soon too as well.
Yeah.
So cool stuff. So definitely want to keep listening because we have some neat stuff coming that way. Rev Kev did mention in our last podcast that he might have heard about some changes coming to websites and signs and stuff. And we have a new logo
We do.
now. And
I've seen
Patrick and Kevin have been a big piece of that, both of them. So tell us about the new logo, guys, because it is really cool. And if you're listening to this, and you probably have seen it, but just in case, you can check out the website, social medias. It's all, Patrick's got it up everywhere. It looks great. So y'all tell us about the new logo and about that process.
Well, first, I want to give the proper recognition to the team.
Yeah.
So the people that helped create it, besides myself and Kevin, were on the team were also Mike Ashley, Brittany Crockett, my brother Jordan Mathenia, Ellen Crockrell, and Ben Harris.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, it's all their fault. I talk to them.
Well, and one of the things that was bound to happen, and I think everybody anticipated this, with the disaffiliation, our logo that we used, obviously, is not a cross and flame like it used to be.
Yeah.
And so I think that we've seen the changes because of that. I mean, if you look on the building, the cross that is existence on the front of the building is not the same as it was 5 years ago. And the same's true with the bag over our
The bag over the sign.
Don't worry, I've already told Mike Ashley we need to print up the new logo on a new bag so we can get a
Got
new
a new
bag.
bag coming in. Yeah.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
That's right. So, I mean, that was always intended to be temporary.
Sure.
And so I think it was wise and necessary to come up with what's a mark that would represent us as Northside Church. And so that was, I think, the initial,
Yeah.
the way it started, right?
Yeah, we talked about how, so somebody drives by the church and they only get a few seconds and to see the logo, and that may be the only idea they get of the church. And so how can we convey as much about Northside in a logo in those few seconds as possible? So that's kind of where it started, and then we were like, okay, well, who are we as Northside? What do we want to convey?
Yeah.
So we started trying to figure out, okay, what's our identity? What do we believe?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also looked at, I Googled Northside Church and found as many Northside churches around the globe that I could.
And there's
I
a
looked at-
few.
and there's a
of them.
bunch.
Yes.
And so
who knew?
I looked at all of their logos. Well, the team looked at all of their logos and said, okay, how can we stand out amongst all the other Northside churches? If somebody just Googles Northside Church, how can we be different than these? We also looked at a bunch of logos for local churches.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we stand out in our community as well? After doing all that and saying, okay, who are we as Northside? We wanted to make sure cross was the first thing because that's what we believe. We believe in Jesus, and that's the first thing we want people to know.
And I think it's interesting to call that out because I'm sure everybody out there, anybody listening, has noticed so many churches are taking either their denomination out of their name, or as they become quote unquote non-denominational, the comment was made. It feels like they're sort of watering down or trying to be something they're not, kind of thing.
More of a brand and less of a church.
And I
in their appearance.
In a way, I understand that because branding is powerful. And it's not just people making pretty things and little drawings and things. There's reasons behind it, but we did really feel strongly that the cross was a symbol we wanted to see if we could incorporate because it's the center of our belief.
Yes. Yeah. And there's surprisingly few churches around town that are using a cross in their logo. Right. So that automatically makes us stand out a little bit,
Absolutely.
But then we were also beyond that, what makes Northside unique as a people and as a church? What is it about us that would make people want to come here? And a lot of what we heard was that Northside is a healing church. It's a safe place. It's a place that people do feel welcome being here and can be comfortable. So the Red Cross imagery is very evident in our logo.
We also talked about Jackson being, for some, maybe it's a little bit of an older moniker, but being called the hub city is still relevant because if you actually look at the population that resides in Madison County or in Jackson, I guess the city limits, versus what maybe a daily volume of people would be, it's vastly different because it's in the center of West Tennessee. And so you get people from surrounding counties coming to Jackson. And I think that's where at least part of where the hub idea comes from. And so we thought, well, how could we incorporate that for people that may not live in Jackson, maybe halfway across the country or the world, and how would that make sense? And we sort of landed on this idea of a crossroads.
And so it looks like a lot of the inroads coming in, the crossroads. It's Highland and 40.
Right.
Because the community is such a big part of who we are as a church. I mean, Northside Jackson is our URL. That's our website, Northside Jackson. So we wanted to make sure we incorporated the community in that. Another thing, you were talking about the stained glass windows just a few minutes ago. That was a unique thing about the building of Northside that we wanted to incorporate because we were like, what makes Northside as a building unique? And we got to talking about the stained glass windows. So there's sort of some stained glass imagery in there as well. And then we didn't talk about this at the time, but Rev Kev actually brought up after he saw it that it is kind of also in 4 parts, which reminded him of the Wesleyan quadrilateral. So there's a lot of meaning in it. And then beyond just the cross in the font itself, we ended up going with a blockier font, and we justified the church underneath it. It conveys that strength and stability because even though Northside's entering into a new era as a church, we are also a church that has a 60+ year history. I mean, we've been here for a while, and we wanted to make sure that people knew that we're not going anywhere.
And something about this font is, I told Patrick as soon as I saw it, I said, I have seen something here, an old form. I think it was almost from the cut and paste days as I've gone through stuff, that font, or one extremely similar to it, was used many, many moons ago here. I've seen it somewhere else. It wasn't exactly, but it was very, very similar. And I thought, because I don't know how many old timers, and I wouldn't have known that had I not run across this sheet of paper somewhere that had this. Right. And I was like, that's kind of cool because
I think it's a good bridge between the past and the future. And that's, I think, as a team, it's what we liked about it.
Now, tell a little bit about the color too, because there's a little bit to that. So.
Well, I wasn't even going to bring that up.
No, I think it's important because, and it can be used at any color. I mean, it can do, but its primary color is going to be this one.
It's sort of a two-tone red. We went through every color. We talked for a long time about color theory, and we tried it with every other color. But there's a lot of biblical imagery that's red, blood of Christ, Holy Spirit. Beyond all that, in color theory, red is the color of energy and passion and action and boldness. And those were just some things that we really wanted to convey about Northside. we're not ashamed of the gospel. We're
Right.
here to loudly proclaim it. So
yeah, well, it looks great. Y'all did a good job. The whole team. Good job, team.
For sure.
Proud of y'all.
Thank you, team.
That was good. So
And I think we'll be seeing that. I don't think I know. We'll be seeing that around the church in different places.
Yeah.
And that stuff is already in the works.
I already have a way that we're going to incorporate it with our logo. The youth logo has that in with the tree and growth and stuff. And I already have an idea of how to use the crosses on everything we do for the youth, especially like apparel and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm not going to share that just yet, but because it's going to be cool. The way
Rev
it's gonna
Kev
be,
was
but-
also in my office today talking about swag.
Well,
That's probably coming down the
and
pipeline eventually.
we've not had. I mean, if it wasn't for the youth group in this church,
I know.
nobody would have Northside nothing.
Yeah, I know.
So we need to. Step
You've really
it up.
been
We need to
keeping us going.
We are the only apparel company here at the church. We need some competition.
Jesus is going to come in here and flip these tables.
That's right.
But yeah, so actually, I think it'll be fun to. I'm serious, y'all. The crosses and stuff. It is going to go well with anything. Hats, stickers.
Well, see, I want to take the George
Polos.
Lucas. Yeah, I want to take the George Lucas Star Wars approach to marketing and just literally just slap the logo on everything. You can get your Northside umbrellas and trash cans and vacuum cleaners and lamps and whatever.
Lampshades.
Yeah, lampshades.
Yeah.
You get your Northside headphones or whatever.
Well, and y'all did do that with on your approach when you were presenting it to the board and things like that. Y'all did come up with like a marketing type scheme. If you were to wrap the church bus and or put it on this or that, and there is a new sign coming for real. It's not just another bag.
Yes.
and the sign looks great. Or at least the proposal for the sign looks awesome. So. Really,
it's in the
excited
works
about
now,
that.
though.
Yeah.
So we have a design. It's just we're getting quotes now, and but that process is definitely moving forward.
Yeah, and it's going to be on the building. Northside Church will end up being on the building where the cross is now.
Right.
It's going to be lighted, and so it's going to look great.
Yeah,
look great. Well, thank you. That's a lot of hard work, and that's good stuff, man. It's exciting. I even get like a little bit of a chill on the back of my neck. when I think
It's
about
been a busy week between that and what. We're moving forward really quickly with the app and the website and everything. It's coming along quick. So hopefully within like a month, you'll be able to get a church app. So
Yeah. Well, and I think that the appeal would continue to go out for those of our loyal listeners out there. We're trying to present a lot of tools that folks can use to share about Northside with their friends or their coworkers or their their neighbors, or whatever it may be, to spread the word. Not that Northside is the be all end all of anything.
Sure.
But that people can come and, like Patrick said, find a healing place.
Yeah.
Find a place to belong and grow in their faith. And perhaps for the first time ever, find the most important thing that could change the rest of their life and their family tree. And that's what it's all about. But we do believe that it's a new day.
Yeah.
And we're so very thankful and grateful for those 60 plus years,
for sure.
because there's no doubt Northside Church would not be here without any of that. So it's not that we're forgetting the past, but we're moving forward into what's next. And
God had a purpose and a plan through those 60 years, and He's got a purpose and a plan for the next 60 years.
Absolutely. And so we're trying to be as diligent as we can to use the gifts that are so rich and varied in the church to spread that word in many, many, many different ways. And this is just one part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So exciting.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Totally.
I'm very excited.
So, and speaking of, digital things, we do have our Instagram page for Northside now.
Right.
And I want to give a shout out to Amy Ray and Annette Wright for corresponding with us on our Instagram page. A lot of people have been liking our things, but thank y'all for giving us a shout out and leaving some comments recently on some posts we made. So thank y'all for listening and being a part too. And that's what Kevin's talking about is, people interact with us. It gives us really a great time to say, hey, and, like we said from the beginning, this is a conversation
Right.
that happens with this kind of setting, but also with our thumbs, and these are people we see, and y'all are people we see. So just, it's fun whenever we can have this back and forth of relationships. So,
well, and maybe somebody sent you this, or you're listening to this podcast on somebody else's device or something, and say, "Hey, I want to get this on mine. Can I do that?" You might not know how to do that.
yeah,
That's another thing you can just ask.
yeah,
Email us, or whatever, Facebook, Connect, whatever it is, Messenger, and we'll be glad to help. See what we can do.
yeah,
And hopefully within the month, you'll be able to access it from your church app.
Yeah.
So
That'd be make it.
I'm trying to make that as much of a one-stop shop as I can. So
that'd be good.
yeah.
That'd be good. And if you know how to work things like apps and stuff like that, help those who maybe need a little help with that. Show them how to get it on their phone and how to use it on their phone and stuff like that. So all you people out there that are
Kids
handy
don't
like
get
that.
kids don't get frustrated with your parents when they can't figure it out. You just help them. Have patience.
Yeah. So say be like Cora, and just have your mom. She'll be patient, and she'll get it going in the car for you, and you can listen to it on your way to school.
There you go.
So, well, that's exciting, and glad to have that cat out of the bag.
I know.
And that sign out of the bag too.
Hey.
I'll be here all week.
Awesome.
Well, there's some other cool stuff coming up. We have first thing is church picnic coming.
Right.
At the end of this week, actually, when you hear this, it'll be church picnic time. So hopefully you're stretching and getting your dishes ready and your things you're supposed to bring. And that'll be fun to get everybody together at Pewborn Park. That's out at Oakfield. It's part of the Madison County Parks and Rec Parks. And come on out and bring yourself and your family, lawn chairs, and eat some burgers and dogs, and watch a little football and a little cornhole, a little egg racing, and volleyball, whatever you want to do. It's out there. Mostly you can just sit and visit.
Good fellowship time.
Yep.
It does. And you know what? That day always seems to have a really pretty day too. It's usually not too hot and stuff like that. So,
Well, here's a perfect opportunity for the folks that go to 11 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 8 o'clock to meet the people in the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 11 o'clock services.
That is true.
That happens all the time. I didn't know you went here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is
it's
true.
great. It is really a great time to get together.
that is a really good point. Actually.
I remember that at least from 13 years ago when I would
Come see the people from the other services. And maybe that person you thought, oh, they don't go to Northside anymore.
Right.
They just may go to another service.
Yeah. Well, you
They
never
do,
know.
so,
You never know.
We're all one body.
That is true.
That's it. So, Patrick, what else is coming soon?
Handbells are starting back. If you want to ring some handbells, starting on October 3rd, Sundays at 4 o'clock. So
That's cool.
yeah, if you want to come ring some handbells, no musical experience needed, but it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Good old handbells.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
The writing team has kicked things off.
Yeah, the writing
working on the
team
musical.
For the musical is met once, and
Wow.
they are as of this release, they've met once, and we shall see how that goes. I'm sure they're excited to get together.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there's been a good, rich tradition in this congregation about having the youth of the church be involved in it's a stage show pretty much with contemporary Christian music and secular sometimes for sure, but
definitely.
it all to tell a story about some either a biblical story. Usually it's more a contemporary story that talks about redemption.
Yeah.
That talks about forgiveness. There's all kinds of different topics, but it's something that's relevant to the specific time frame that it's done and relevant to the kids involved.
Yeah.
And because they're so integrally involved in the writing, it's been a really unique, I think, thing about Northside Church for 20, how many years?
20,
It's been a long time.
21.
Yeah. Been a
Well,
long time.
minus
-2.
Minus
two
the COVID years,
Minus the
yes.
two COVID. And a special shout out to one of these guys who's going to be on the writing team, who this past Sunday received his Eagle Scout,
cool.
one of our seniors, who was also one of the plank owners and one of the just very beginning conversers about even having a podcast set up here at Northside. Brendan Flowers, congratulations on your Eagle. And y'all, I don't know if people know this, but this is our last episode in the 30s, right?
Right.
So 39 episodes right here. And it just choked Patrick up.
Yep.
He was so
I took a swig of water and it went down the wrong way.
he was so choked up from this baby growing up to be middle-aged.
I never thought I'd see it come this far.
But I actually was having, as we were recording this, I had breakfast this morning with some youth pastors after we were together doing some stuff. And a few of them had started some different podcasts and stuff, and they're not doing them anymore. So we persevered. So it wasn't easy, but we're glad that it persevered because we think it's
We're having fun.
a neat addition to the church.
Right.
So good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. So
Well, speaking of musicals, as of the recording of this podcast, now it might change, but as of today, the children are going to start meeting again on Wednesday nights to do music starting in October and preparing for a children's Christmas musical.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Christmas with a children's musical it's all it.
Yeah.
It's all about it. Good stuff. Good stuff. And so, and there's going to be a cantata, I believe. The choir's working on cantata.
Choir's working on a cantata.
So, and we will have the nativities out again this year. And
anybody that wants to come help Glenn set up the nativities, he would be very appreciative of that.
And we just did green sheets, and some people signed up for that.
Oh, did they?
But just because you didn't sign up on a green sheet doesn't mean you don't get escaping from, or you can't escape the
many hands make for light work.
Yes.
So.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll do something new with the nativities this year. I don't know what we'll do.
LEDs.
You should mix them all together and have one giant nativity with like 400 Jesuses and
that would be
600 wise men.
Well,
That math doesn't know.
Laser lights.
Oh yeah, smoke machines.
I wish we did have one big old monster one we could set up outside. That'd be cool.
Maybe this is the year.
If you have a big monster nativity you'd like to set up, we got some open space in the front of the church now.
Now, when you say monster nativity, my brain went to like Godzilla and King Kong and like some like big monsters.
I was thinking Monsters Inc.
Well, we have
get a Mike and Sully and
that would be really cool. Now
all bowing down to Jesus. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd
We
be
have
great.
every other character deal with Peanuts and VeggieTales,
SpongeBob
and
out
ducks.
there, just
One of my favorite nativities is the duck nativity. All these rubber ducks, and I don't know why, but they're there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So lots of good stuff coming up, and we do have some cool guests coming. And besides Rev Kev being back, Bill Reagan will be with us soon to talk about his recent trip to Haiti. Chuck Jones will be with us talking about a men's trip he took out to the mountains, and really a really neat experience he had there. I believe we have a new staff member coming on board soon.
Yep.
And we'll have her in soon to introduce her. And Ron Hornberger from the board of directors will be coming and telling us a little bit about what they're doing. And Jim Russell from the board of elders will be coming right on his heels to tell us a little bit about what the board of elders is up to, and maybe describe a little bit about what their purposes and functions are.
Yeah.
So we have a busy month, along with all the other fun we mentioned earlier. So
And don't forget Para Northside activity during the month of October. If you've got any stories about encounters with Linda, the Northside ghost, send those to us, and we'll share them on the podcast.
Rev Kev had his first experience with her, which was really funny. His eyes were really big. He was like, "Let me tell you what happened." It's like, well, welcome to Northside. So you join the rest of us now.
I just wanted to push that again.
Well, and maybe we can have Linda here as a guest sometime.
Yeah, we'll see if we can. We'll just we got to turn the lights off and light the candles and hold hands.
We
and
won't do that. So.
Well, guys, thanks for podcasting with me. And thanks to all of you out there in the world for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram at Northside Now Podcast. Go to our website, northsidejackson.com, or email us at podcast@northsidejackson.com. We hope to hear from you soon. Once again, I'm Patrick.
This is Glenn.
I'm Kevin.
And that's what's happening at Northside Now.
Bye-bye.